Welcome back, another episode. Without a laugh track like Night Court, the grim truth of being a public defender is gloomy and disappointing. Few people understand this viewpoint as the defendants enjoy their 7 minutes with their complimentary attorney. Whatever justice they receive is weighed against the prosecutor's desire, the judge's temperament, and the volume of other cases scheduled for that day. Ben's leap is about Camillo specifically and how signing a plea deal will affect his brother and grandmother, but it's important to note that Ben's presence also has a big impact on Tyler and Stuart. To be fair, Tyler might not have received the $50,000 bail if Aleda had been there to represent him. Nonetheless, the fact that Tyler had a history of missing court appearances to answer theft-related crimes may have contributed to the bail's imposition. The first indication that Jen and Addison will be quite different holographic guides is her extremely successful strategy for resolving the bail money problem. When Addison suggests the temporary switch of responsibilities, it's not entirely apparent how she feels about representing Ben in court. It originally comes across as being a little grumpy. Her adamant refusal to accept the assignment strikes me as being very out of character. By the time she completes Camillo and Aleda's exposition, it is clear that she has an emotional stake in how their lives turn out. Being in HQ at the time she performs the run-through, though, makes it feel a little forced because everything is presented on the screen for everyone to read at their own pace. But it's alright, we appreciate the conclusion. Little fragments of Jen's past and private life are still known. In a nutshell, she has a lover who she lied to about her job and who she brought to Ben and Addison's engagement party on Quantum Leap Season 1 Episode 1. She struggles with her father, who for some reason has Magic's phone number, and she received her law degree while doing time in prison for hacking. Her relationship with her father is also difficult. She is conscious of her insecurities as well as her own worth. She takes the duty of protecting the Quantum Leap project seriously and bears the weight of failure personally. Although I'm curious in how she relaxes, I don't think we'll learn much more about her this season as we rush toward the season's conclusion. As Magic instructs Jen to help Ben in the imaging room, Addison's response to being excluded from that touch comes into play. Ben has been in relationships before as a result of his leaps. It's intriguing that this time around, Aleda and Vicky seem to have a closer bond than in the past. Is it because their relationship is private or because Addison isn't present to imply consent? Vicky's life also takes a different turn as a result of Ben's involvement in Camillo's case. While we are aware of what would have happened if they hadn't reconciled, Aleda and Vicky's original place in history is unknown. If Vicky had been promoted to first chair in the Dawes office, would they have been able to maintain their relationship? Would they have finally broken up for the same reasons as what transpired here? A conflict of interest and the strain of their work combined. Vicky's dedication to true justice makes her resonate with Ben's objective. She and Aleda wind up working for the Innocence Project, which feels like a really appropriate position for them both. Don't forget about Stuart's bicycle. That appears to be such a small aspect of Ben's mission. The matter of Stuart has already been decided. His obsession with getting his motorcycle back seems pointless and unrelated to the story, other than to pile more responsibility onto Aleda's already overflowing plate. But when Ben keeps his word, Camillo gains renewed optimism as a result. Stuart's justification for wanting his bike back is nostalgic and serves to remind viewers that, even though AIDS was first discovered as being caused by HIV in 1985, the disease had already claimed many lives and had a significant negative impact on LGBT communities. Huge applause for writers with large hearts. I'll leave the dispute about the admissibility of evidence discovered through a database in the future and captured with a Polaroid camera to greater legal minds than mine. Yet, if they're ready to put it to the test in a ballistics match, it ought to be sufficient to end Camillo's case for good. Leo is a harder character to get a handle on. Although he is obviously afraid and jaded by life, there is still enough of his brother for him to resist fully embracing the gang lifestyle. Both Jen's story of the drowning bunny and Ben's scientific justification for believing in things other than what you can see are effective parables. Also, Leo's brilliance may have found some attraction in Ben's science-related character. As you watch Quantum Leap Online, take note of how they managed to briefly mention Martinez's return on Quantum Leap Season 1 Episode 14 without going into detail about what he said or how his role as Walker benefited Ben in the same way that Ben's did. Does anyone else wonder why Ian didn't develop the code to follow Leaper X right away rather than waiting for a second encounter? How long has Martinez been leaping, in your opinion? Will we learn the truth at the conclusion? What fresh queries will that raise? Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe our channel.